I think it's going to be one of the top 5 movies of the summer. I might be on my top 5 6th pick, but I think it's going to be one of the biggest movies of the summer.
One of the biggest. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
Yes! Yes!
It's the Summer Movie Spectacular, where we review the previews, tell you what to see, what to miss, and tell you what will be the biggest hits. I'm Lunchbox, that's Jester. Bring out the tributes!
Moving into July, things heat up, and speaking of hot, how about that ID4? Best segue ever. Fun fact, several years ago, actually I guess a couple decades ago, we were traveling back and forth between our old home and our homestead, I should say, in California, and out here in good old Colorado, and family had stopped over in Las Vegas, and big movie that summer of 96 was Independence Day. Hey, everybody's going to see it. It's huge. It's awesome. Sitting there in a Las Vegas hotel, wake up, watching a little bit of local news, and after the weather follows like one of the
best segue
ever. One of the most memorable segues I've ever seen. We're almost on 20 years since that segue, and I still remember it. It's Vegas. It's sunny. It's hot, of course, because it's the middle of the desert. It's hot. And the movie guy says, and speaking of hot, how about that ID4? And just like, everybody in the room is like packing up, getting ready, and just sort of looks and like, did he just say that? Like, he just, boom, and it just puts that out there. And it's great. It still sticks in memory, and it just shows that even if you do something corny, like for a segue, sometimes it sticks with you.
Sometimes a segue is just perfect.
Some say sometimes a segue is a segue. And with that, July 1st, Terminator Genesis.
A horrible segue.
A horrible segue. Okay, so this is what now? Where are we up to? 3, 4, 5. Fifth installment in the Terminator series, correct? You've got Terminator 1, 2, and 3, then Salvation, and now this.
Salvation, and then Genesis. Yeah.
And this is the fifth one, and it actually... Okay.
Salvation technically a prequel.
That's true. Salvation is technically a prequel, but it's the fourth movie of the franchise.
Of the franchise, yes.
I actually can't wait for this. Arnie, I was going to say looks good. He's looking old, but they've used that in the script, obviously, in some way. And they're looking like they're using the whole time travel thing to help reboot the franchise in a new way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just so they can bring Arnie in, or if it's just, you think it's just the Arnie factor?
Yeah.
Okay. I
think that you have to bring him back, because otherwise, I think that's part of the reason why nobody wanted to see Salvation is, well, yeah.
They had a sort of Arnie-ishness.
There was Arnie-ish in it.
That was like the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, it really was. But I think that, from the trailers, you've got old Arnie versus young Arnie. You're like, oh, that's kind of awesome.
That looks kind of awesome, and I don't know how much of it is them using old footage, how much of them is using like CG techniques. Yeah. But either way, it looks awesome.
It doesn't matter. It looks really cool.
It doesn't matter. To me, it looks awesome.
For me, I love Terminator movies. I don't care. I love Terminator 3, and I don't care who knows it. Salvation, I thought was all right. It wasn't, probably my least favorite of the series, actually. But I like Terminator 3. I like the way that it wrapped it up and kind of put everything and made it all make sense.
Yeah.
Terminator 3 kind of made
sense.
Terminator 3
was not a bad movie, and it did end on a down kind of note. And that's fine, because it's not like the entire
series. It's a series of down notes.
Oh, it's how did I say it? It's the ending that you had to have known was coming from the start.
Yeah, it had to happen.
It had to happen because they're talking about these machines coming from an apocalyptic future.
Yeah, and then Google is evil, and it all worked out.
Basically, yeah. You know, how funny how life has a way of tying things up in a real nice bow, huh? Okay. I feel like this is going to be a big movie. Do I think people should go see it? Yes.
Yes, I think it's going to be huge, and I have a very specific reason why.
Okay, I want to hear it. Why do you think it's going to be huge?
Because J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons is in it, which means it's going to be awesome. And I'll watch anything he's in. And, you know, the old Arnie versus young Arnie, definitely going to be awesome. But J.K. Simmons is in it. And I just kind of squeed like a little schoolgirl when I saw him in the trailer. Even more than when I saw young Arnie in it. I went, hey, J.K. Simmons!
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's going to be great. And yeah, how could it not be? With Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think Arnie definitely. And it really makes it a Terminator movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what sells it for me. Go see it. Go see it a dozen times. But go see it. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see it.
At least twice. Just
at least twice.
So that you can marvel at J.K. Simmons' performance.
Yes. And something I don't want to see is the one that also comes out that day, and that'd be Magic Mike XXX, or whatever it is, XXL. Go ahead and take it away, because I have nothing to say about this movie. I'm just not interested in the least. I don't think you should see it. I think you should avoid it. Double XL, whatever. If you have something to say it, because this movie looks like crap, and I hope it bombs.
I loved the original movie. It is so much more than you think that it is. It's not just guys stripping movie. It's not goofy. It's really got some heavy drama and some really backroom dealings and all of these things. It's a complex movie. It's a Soderbergh movie, for God's sake. It's good. It's actually a good movie. It just happens to be about male strippers. The original movie is so good. I think that too many people dismissed it as, oh, it's a movie about male strippers, and I don't want to watch dudes dancing around half naked. But it's so much more than that. That is part of it, and certainly that is an enjoyable part of it, but it's about so much more than that. And I think that the only thing I worry about in the sequel, because the really teaser trailers don't hit it, is that they might lose some of the, dare I say it, gravitas of the original. Really, the original is dark, gritty, has so many layers going on.
I wouldn't have thought that looking at this, it looks goofy and campy.
It kind of does, and so didn't the original did when you watch the trailers for that. And I think that people were clamoring for more of the goofy, wanted to watch more of the male stripping stuff, and were kind of expecting that. And I'm afraid that they're going to kind of cater to the lowest common denominator and just go, okay, second movie, we're just putting in a whole lot more, half-naked men dancing. And, not that I'm complaining if Channing Tatum's dancing around half naked. He's a good-looking guy and got nice abs. I'm just saying that the story is what really drew me into the original Magic Mike. It's really got a whole lot more going on there than you would expect. And I really hope that they keep that dramatic level with the sequel.
I think it's going to bomb. Like I said, I had no interest in seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Overall, will I see it? No. You might.
Oh, I definitely will.
I
own the original.
Will it make money?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm thinking it bombs.
Yes. Oh, no. No.
Should you go see it? I say no.
Yes.
Devin,
well,
Lunchbox says yes.
As long as they keep the dramatic intent of the original and keep the feeling of the original, then yes. If it's all just half-naked guys dancing around, Channing Tatum's a good dancer. So I'm still going to go with yes.
Jeez.
Because he dances real good and he looks good with them abs.
Okay. That's the only movies coming out that weekend, and I'm giving it to Terminator because really...
Well, yeah, I'm going to give it to Terminator.
It's the action.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Terminator because J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
But Magic Mike, I think, will do very well for itself. I think it'll make a good showing at second.
Okay. Following weekend, the only contender in the box office is Minions, and I think the movie looks hilarious. The Minions look funny. The clips I've seen look funny, and I think it'll be likely one of the top 5 movies of the summer. Sandra Bullock sounds like she's having a good time as the main villainous voice thing. I don't know. I'm not going to overly praise and oversell a movie that's going to sell itself, basically. And I don't know. How do I say it? I had a little bit of trepidation going in because I'm like, how can you make a whole movie with these little things?
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's, even though they were the best part,
even though
of
they were arguably the best
series.
part of the two movies, how could you do a whole movie about them? And I think it's going to be.
I think they figured out a good way to do the prequel with the Minions, and I had the same idea of like, well, they speak fractured English and French essentially, kind of mashed together, and kind of banana.
Yeah.
Kind of, like not really understand quite what they say most of the time. Like, how are you going to make a whole movie out of this? But they kind of figured out a way to make it kind of an interesting prequel with Sandra Bullock as the villainess, and just seems to be chewing the scenery as much
as much as you can as a common and character,
but as much as she needs to in order to make this whole thing work.
Yeah.
And I think that it just seems like so much fun. I'm just really looking forward to it. So yeah, and I think you're probably right. One of the top movies of the summer.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be huge.
Alrighty. So will I see it? Yes, I'll see it. I might actually see it in the theater for
yeah, I
fun.
think that might be one I'll probably see in the theater. I might even try and watch that one in 3D.
Really?
And I haven't seen a movie in 3D in so long.
They might have some good gags there. So
I think Monsters vs. Aliens was the last one I saw in 3D.
Will it make its money? Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yes.
And should you go see it? Yeah, you should. Because it looks fun. Yeah, you should.
Because if you like Despicable Me or Despicable Me 2, or if you like having fun when you go to the movies.
If you like having fun when you go, you should see it because it looks funny. It looks funny fun.
It does. And like all of the trailers that I've seen for it, every little snippets that they've shown for it look like so much fun.
Yeah.
Totally looking forward to it. Yep.
A movie
top of the box office.
Top of the box office for July 10th. Moving on to July 17th weekend is a movie that I am not quite sure about because it changed directors midway, and that's Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd as the hero, Michael Douglas as Obi-Wan, and well, it could be awful, it could be awesome. Knowing that Edgar Wright was supposed to direct but left the project is really...
I think he got fired.
He got fired? Well, whatever the case, I'm really thinking this might be Marvel's first flop.
Yeah, it's hard to... It's
Marvel Studios.
Hard to... I mean...
You want it to do well, but it's...
Is it too late to change the name?
Is it too late to change the name? They say that in the trailer, and I don't have any problems with the name Ant-Man in the trailer. What I have a problem with is Edgar Wright no longer being involved.
Yeah. See, that's really my
It's like firing Ryan Reynolds halfway through Deadpool because he didn't feel like he was a good fit or something. It's just like, why would you do this?
Wait, what?
Here, let's hire that Alan Smithy guy.
What?
Yeah, these are dumb decisions that people wouldn't make in real life, but apparently they did. And I don't know.
This one I'm kind of borderline on.
I'm borderline on this too. I feel like it could be.
Unless I mean, it's Ant-Man's part of the MCU now, so you've got to see it.
Yeah.
You have to see it. You got to see it at the movie theater because otherwise, what's the point? You're not going to be able to see Ant-Man on your TV.
Yeah.
It's just not going to play the same. But man, really,
no.
It was the getting rid of Edgar Wright
Edgar Wright was a stupid move, and people know about it, and it makes people leery. Even
everybody
fans
knows. Because then you have all of the fanboys are kind of soured on it because you got rid of Edgar Wright, who everybody knew was going to name it.
And the fanboys would have brought in their own PBF factor.
Yeah, and the fanboys would have, brought in a huge thing. And then you've got everybody who's not a fanboy, who's never heard of Ant-Man, or if they have, they just know that Hank Pym liked to beat on his wife. I mean, it's like there's no upside here.
Yeah, I was going to say there's nothing selling this movie, and the only press I don't care what you say about any press, even bad is okay. Press is press,
right?
Like it's just not. I don't see it. So
there's no such thing as bad press. I think Lee Harvey Oswald said that.
Yeah, right. Okay. To wrap up, will I see it? Yeah. Will I? Do I think it's going to do well? I think this is going to be a bomb. I call this as a bomb.
You think that?
I think this is my guess as the big summer bomb.
Big summer bomb. Okay, I'm going to go with not the biggest. I think it'll do okay, but not near as good as they want. And it might be the Marvel Universe bomb.
A Marvel Universe bomb. But
yes, I think that as far as the MCU goes, this is going to be a bomb in the MCU. Because it's not going to do near as well as they need it to be in order for everybody to be on board with Ant-Man being in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be a MCU bomb, but not an overall bomb. I think it'll do okay, but not boffo.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, the other movie coming out that weekend is Trainwreck, a romantic quote-unquote comedy with a woman who sleeps around and looks awful. The movie looks awful. It seems like no dignity, no likable characters. Whatever happened to a romantic movie where people had flaws but weren't like otherwise unpleasant people? I mean, I did not like Along Came Polly, but at least that had just Ben Stiller was kind of a shut-in.
Yeah.
He wasn't like secretly kind of a jerk. And also a shut-in. He wasn't a shut-in jerk, but we're supposed to somehow root for him to get the girl. He's a shut-in who meets the girl who gets him to kind of get out of his shell. And I don't see. I told my wife about the trailer. I said, okay, here's a romantic comedy that's coming out this summer. Let me pitch it to you. She hears it. Okay, it's this woman who works at a magazine, and she basically plays up the fact that she's average looking, or that she feels like she's average looking, so she goes and sleeps around as a new person every weekend or something like that. And lo and behold, one of those hookups, the guy calls her back. And it freaks her out. She's like, oh my gosh, the guy called me back. And I was like, okay, what do you think? And her reaction was, so this isn't like she's 14. I was like, no, she's like fully grown woman, like in an office. She's got a nice job and whatnot. In fact, they have this running gag that her boss thinks that it's great that she's so average looking or whatever. They really play this like your average thing up in the trailer. And she's like, so she's not 14. Like, nope. It's like, this sounds dumb, because getting called back by a boy, or however you want to put it, just sat like, and being all, whoa, oh my gosh, even if you're like freaked out that somebody actually called me back and they weren't looking for a one-night stand, it's just the whole thing sounds juvenile. And it sounds like it's going to lead to one of those stupid movies where the freaking tropes get trotted out of, like, if only people talk to each other.
I laughed out loud watching this trailer. I think Amy Schumer is funny. Not always, but she does have good gags. I think she's very funny. And I really enjoyed the trailer for this movie. I think it's going to be pretty funny. Actually, I don't understand where you're coming from at all. Like, her whole thing is that she just wants to have sex with guys and not have them call her back. And so she's not interested in any of that and tries to make that perfectly clear. And when a guy calls her back, obviously there must be something wrong with him, because he called her back and she didn't want him to. And so, why is this guy call me back? I just wanted to have some fun, and what's wrong with you?
I just don't see how you can pull a whole movie out of this. It just seems... I don't know. Again,
Well, it does seem very how to lose a guy in 10 days.
I wish that there was more. I don't know how else to put it. Than like, I wish that there was more expected of romantic comedies and like movies that are supposed to be geared towards women than this. It just, not that I'm saying every movie has to be high intellectual whatever, or that every movie has to be big action. It's just disappointing to see something that just, I don't know.
Well, I think that it's very empowering. Women can have sex and not have to be attached to any particular relationship. That's empowering. They can have sex just like guys do, and just have their one night stands and move on with their life and get back to their career, just like stereotypically guys do. I think that's very empowering.
See, this is where we digress now. Sorry, diverge on moral stances here, but to not get too far off on that. Back to the movie itself. As far as will it do?
I thought it was funny. I thought the trailer was funny. I actually laughed out loud, and I never do that.
You'll see it.
I will.
Will it do well? It might, because it's a romantic comedy in the middle of summer.
And it's Amy Schumer, who's actually a fairly hot commodity these days.
Yeah, and she seems like she has. Again, I don't like Melissa McCarthy. This lady seems like she has comedic timing.
She does. She's funny.
Alrighty.
She's even got her own show on Comedy Central.
The only weekend, the only thing that's going to win on that weekend, I think that's another weekend for Minions too. That's the second week of it, and Ant-Man, I think is going to bomb. I think
you think it's going to bomb so bad it loses to Minions?
Yeah, that's why I said that's my movie. That's the big bomb for the summer. I think it's going to come in third place. I think it's going to go for July 17th. It's going to go Minions, Ant-Man, Trainwreck. Maybe Ant-Man and Trainwreck would actually flip-flop, but I think that Ant-Man's going to do that poorly.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go Ant-Man. I think Minions probably close second, but Ant-Man, I'll still go. I don't think it's going to do great, but I'm still going to go Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man still wins the weekend. I don't think Minions is going to have enough holdover. I mean, Minions definitely going to have legs, got to keep running, but no, Ant-Man's going to take it.
Well, the following week, we've got like a lineup of 4 films, all starting with P. Poltergeist, Pixels, Pan, and The Paper Towns. We're going to start off with Poltergeist, because I think we could sum this up really quick. Why would you remake this movie?
I have no idea.
And why would you put a movie out in the middle of summer that's actually a horror movie?
I have no idea.
Neither do I. So, are you going to go see this film?
No.
No. Should you see this film? Will it bomb?
Oh, yeah. No.
No. Will it make money? No.
No.
Should you go see it? No. Because there's the classic that's already on. I don't know if it's old enough to be called a classic. The original.
It's old enough to be called a classic.
Fine. Okay, go.
It's classic.
Go to your local video store. If you can't afford it, go to your local Goodwill, because there's probably one in the bin there somewhere, and pick up the original. Don't go wasting your money.
It might be on Netflix by this point.
It might be on Netflix at this point. Don't go watching it. And when you do go pick it up, make sure that you look at the calendar and say, is it October yet? Okay, it is. I'll go it. Poltergeist. The original.
I'll watch Poltergeist.
I'll go
the
watch
original.
Poltergeist.
Because why would you... No. Okay.
Moving on to Pixels. They actually moved this up from September to July, so that means they think they've got something. They've got something, and I'm guessing that's off.
And they're opening it opposite Poltergeist, so obviously they think they.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Adam Sandler and company. We talked about this when the trailer was first released. I think that it's going to be one of the top 5 for the summer. Retro's in vogue. It'll hit a sweet spot. It looks like Mars Attacks, only with video game characters in the alien role, that is.
Right.
And it's... I know for some it's hard to swallow this, but Adam Sandler is a box office draw. He will bring people in. And it has Kevin James, which is hard for me to swallow as a box office draw. And it has Peter Dinklage, which I think is awesome.
20 million draws. They're like, both of them are 20 million draws, and I don't think you get 40 million together.
Yeah.
I don't think you can pack them together and get 40 million.
I think
even throwing in what's his name? Peter Dinklage. Even throwing in Peter Dinklage, you don't get to 50 million. You don't get to 50 million.
This is going to be $100 million movie. No joking, no smiles. This is going to be One of the top 5 of the
This is
summer.
going to be your surprise hit of the
This
year?
is going to be a surprise, not a sleeper hit, but this is going to be the one that everybody
The
says
surprise.
the surprise hit of the summer is going to be like, how did that movie make money? People are going to be pissed because they don't like Adam Sandler films, and they're going to rail about how stupid his stuff is and blah blah blah.
And Jack and Jill and
he can
grown-ups.
he can dry all the tears that he has from being hated by people with all the
of the cash
that he's going to
raking
make in from this, because he's going to hit a sweet spot because retro gaming is in. It's that simple.
I just don't see it.
I see it. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna see how.
I think that most people are going to have the same reaction I did of like, "Woo, this really interesting."
Okay. Will you? Okay, so will you see it? I will.
Yeah, of course I'm going to see it.
Will it make big money at its box office?
Yeah, I think it'll make money. Not big money, but I think not as big money as you're saying. But I think it'll make money. It'll do all right. I think it'll do all right.
Should you guys go see it? Maybe. This was the first time I could find myself wanting to recommend an Adam Sandler film that isn't The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say go see it.
Yeah. Well, I say wait for some reviews.
Okay. Next up would be Pan. And Hugh Jackman looking great as Blackbeard the Pirate.
Yes.
It looks like a whimsical retelling of Peter Pan, and I think the time is right for another retelling of Peter Pan. There's one that came out with Jason Isaacs a few years ago that was okay, but it was just too dark and brooding and dull. And Peter Pan is supposed to be kind of upbeat and happy. You want something that has something more akin to Hook than something that just kind of looks down.
Yeah, except that it's the opposite end of Hook. It's an origin story. Nobody loves an origin story. Origin stories are stupid. Make them go away. You know, you can do a title sequence with the origin story and then get me back to my real story. It's an origin story. I don't like origin stories. Nobody does.
Really? You don't think this is going to be good?
I don't think so. No.
I think it's
nobody likes origin stories.
Sleeper hit. One of the sleeper hits of the summer.
I do agree that Hugh Jackman looks very good, but it's not the Pan that we remember. It's the reason that Hook bombed. That's not Peter Pan fighting Captain Hook. That's what we want. Peter Pan. We want Peter Pan fights Captain Hook. There's a crocodile. He's got a clock in his stomach. Keeps ticking. That's what we want. Just give us that. Just shut up. Give us what we want. And this is the edgy, early Peter Pan.
I don't see edginess in it. I see I see poofy, bright colors in it, and I see like them trying to have this guy who's playing Captain Hook, the younger version of Captain Hook, be a sort of a ne'er-do-well, but not a whole hateable person.
He's Peter Pan's friend all of a sudden. Like, they're friends?
This is going to be one of those weird movies that turns a normal idea on its head that again, another one of these things that surprises people.
I'm not doubting that it will be an interesting film and kind of fun to watch. No way anybody's going to go see it, though.
Okay, well, before we get down to the see it and money and all that kind of stuff, let me give you a quick parallel. Several years ago, 5 years ago, I think now, actually, because I saw it when I was really sick, needing a transplant, and had nothing else to do. I went and saw a movie called Robin Hood, starring Russell Crowe, and it was horrible. It was
an origin story. I told you, nobody likes origin stories.
It wasn't just an origin story. It was Ridley Scott directed, and it was we're going to turn it on its head. We're going to make people think of Robin Hood in a new way. And the problem is that he went dark. He went, well, it's Ridley Scott, of course it was going to go dark. But it was dark.
Get that light out of here.
It was dark, it was brooding, and you can't do that with a character that's traditionally seen as upbeat. If you make an origin story with a character that's traditionally upbeat, like they're trying to do here with Pan, and still make it kind of look whimsical and upbeat, I think you can hit upon something.
You may have seen a different trailer than I did, because the one I saw was definitely dark. Well, at least the first half of it was dark. I mean, certainly once they get to Neverland, and he gets to be friends with Captain Hook for some reason, then it starts getting a little whimsical. I just, no. I'm not sold.
Will you see it?
I'll see it, yeah, because it looks like fun.
Okay. Will it make money?
No.
I think it'll make money. Sleeper hit status.
No.
Should you out in the audience go see it?
Well, if you liked Hook.
If you liked Hooked and you're ready for another reimagining of Peter Pan, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another version reimagining, and if you can stomach the idea of Peter Pan and Captain Hook being friends,
I'd be interested to see it. So,
right.
moving on to the last one of that weekend is Paper Towns, and I just have an overall meh feeling. It looks like it has this kind of
so intrigued.
Tries to look like a feel-good trip with pleasantness. Maybe it's the, I don't know, Stand By Me for this generation, only in a car driving down the road. I don't want. I'm not interested. You have more to say on it than I do.
Yes, I do. Because I watched the trailer, and the trailer is basically what I kind of feel like the movie is going to be. Is that, like, the first part of the trailer is basically... What's the one with the music? The music list. There's it's two names. Their Infinite Playlist or something like that.
Yeah, it's
the one with Kat Dennings.
It's something and something's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah, something like that. But that was an enjoyable movie. I really liked it. But it's basically them going around doing goofy stuff and kind of spending that one night together. And basically, the movie looked like it was going to be Nick and Nora's.
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yes, and which I totally enjoyed. And it kind of seemed like that. And then Nora disappears, and there's like little notes. And he's got to try and figure out what happened to her after that one incredible night. And so you've got kind of Nick and Nora, and you've got the mystery of disappeared girl story too. So I'm actually really intrigued. I kind of really want to watch that. I love Nick and Nora, and I love disappeared girl with random clues. So I want to see it.
Overall, will I see it? No. You'll see it because you'll see most of everything.
I'll see pretty much anything, but I'm really actually interested in seeing this. Stupid horror movies, but yeah, I kind of want to see it.
If I think it's gonna do moderate success. I don't think it'll make its money back. Honestly, I think it's gonna.
Definitely, it's low enough budget it'll make its money back.
Really,
but I think it'll just do okay.
Should you guys out there see it? Wait for video.
Yeah, I
this is not something you need to make a weekend trip out of.
I don't think unless I see some really boffo stuff out of the reviews and everybody saying, I'm not going to say run out and go see it at the theater, but it definitely intrigues me. So, yeah, see it.
Out of those movies coming out July 24th, Poltergeist, Pixels, Pan, Paper Towns, Pixels all the way. That's what wins the box office for July 24th.
You think so? What came out before that?
Do you really think whatever came out before that? That'd be Ant-Man and Trainwreck. And then before that would be July 10th, Minions. You'd have to have some carryover, and I just don't see that.
Ant-Man's got carryover. That's Ant-Man.
It's because you don't like Adam Sandler films, which is understandable.
No, I like Adam Sandler films. Well, I liked some of them.
You liked some of them, but
I haven't liked them in 20 years, but Wedding Singer was the last one I liked. I liked Billy Madison all right. It was kind of funny.
Yeah. All right.
Happy Gilmore, I thought was funny. I
liked
Happy Gilmore. I watched that a few times.
Let's go on to July 31st.
All right.
Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. You will believe a man can fly, especially if he's strapped to a plane. So I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossibles since the second one, but this one makes me want to play catch up.
Oh, you missed Ghost Protocol.
I did.
Ghost Protocol was so good.
I heard that it was good, and I heard that 3 was good. And
3 was all right. Ghost Protocol was awesome.
But 2 was so poor in my mind, it turned me off to the series.
Yeah, okay. 2 wasn't up to snuff. I'll grant you that. 3 was better. Ghost Protocol was awesome.
Okay.
And Rogue Nation has Tom Cruise strapped to the side of a plane, which who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, guy does his own stunts. I mean, within reason.
Yeah. Well, I guess the reason would be strapping yourself to the outside of a plane that's taking off. You consider that reasonable?
He also hung from the side of a cliff for the trailer for the first movie.
And climbed up the world's tallest tower for the fourth movie.
Yeah, and props to him. And again, we'll go back to that, like, there are so few and far between, like, mega stars that can bring in people Tom Cruise is still one of those names I think can bring people in and should be bringing people in because he's a good actor. And
He is.
I'll see it. I'll see it.
I'll see it.
You'll see it. I'll actually see it in the box office. Sorry, in the theater. I think it's going to be one of the top 5 movies of the summer. I might be on my top 5, 6th pick, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest movies of the summer.
One of the biggest. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
Um,
That Ghost Protocol was so good that I think they got enough cachet that people will go into Rogue Nation without, just based on, hey, it's a new Mission Impossible movie. Without kind of any thought to it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the new Mission Impossible movie that, and it did really well. The Ghost Protocol did so well that I think that, Rogue Nation. IMF versus anti-IMF? Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, no, that premise looks cool too.
Take my money!
Yeah. Okay, also on that weekend is Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Little Mac.
It's Gyllenhaal. It's a hard G.
Okay. Yes, Gyllenhaal, Rachel McAdams as his dead wife, and Forrest Whitaker as Coach Doc. Apparently, it's the story of Punch Out, starring Mike Tyson, and actually no, it's Gyllenhaal. He plays a boxer struggling to get his life back together after losing his beloved wife, and then his whole life goes downhill, and he's trying to fight this custody battle and show that he can embrace the thug lifestyle in order to become a good guy again. I don't know. The movie looks like he's going to learn how to be a thug boxer, to prove that he's got the
hardcore and stuff.
I don't know, but somehow going to a hardcore neighborhood and learning to become a boxer, and I'm not trying to say something mean here. I'm just saying it looks like he's learning how to box via a bunch of thugs in a seedy neighborhood, and somehow this equals him getting his kid back from having the custody taken away from him. It's just I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, no, I love it.
I like boxing.
It's Gyllenhaal with
a hard G.
With a hard G.
Okay.
I think that Jake Gyllenhaal's a good actor, and I really appreciate his ability. But really, didn't we already see the best fighting movie, best romantic fighting movie?
Raging Bull.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean of the modern times. Recently, the past 10 years, it's got to be The Fighter. The Fighter was, I cried. Literally.
I was going to say, okay, The Fighter.
Just tears streaming down my face at the end of that movie. It was really just perfect, and I just don't see...
I don't see people wanting to see this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't see that it didn't sell me.
It didn't sell me, so will I see it? No, I won't see it. I find the whole premise just kind of not engaging.
Personally, I see everything, so I'll watch it just to see how bad it is compared to The Fighter. Okay. Because The Fighter, you should really watch. Everybody out there, watch The Fighter and cry, streaming tears.
I think it's gonna bomb.
Tears, streaming.
Yeah. What do you think? Bomb. Well,
no, I don't think bomb. I think
it's gonna bomb.
It'll do okay. I think probably
more movies have bombed.
It's not gonna be top of the pops. It'll be below number 5, definitely.
Okay.
Depending on number of theaters released in, depends on how low that goes. But I think I don't see this being anybody's wish list to watch.
Okay, and speaking of which, the other one of the other bigger movies coming out is Self/Less, capitalizing once again on the slash in the film title genre that was brought to life by Face Off so many years ago. And the best one ever. Ben Kingsley, Ryan Reynolds. It's a sci-fi movie where Kingsley plays a guy who's dying of cancer, and he has this procedure where he transfers his consciousness into a quote-unquote empty shell so he can continue living. And that empty shell is played by Ryan Reynolds. And it turns out, though, that the empty shell isn't so empty and that this person had a whole life and they basically from I could tell from the trailer, snatched this guy from his life.
Yeah.
Or something, so that they can
Near as I can figure.
As can figure. I'm just going straight to my final thought, which is a bomb, because Ben Kingsley hasn't been in anything good in a while. And Ryan Reynolds, I think, is miscast.
you kind of eked at me at that. It's like, has he like anything?
Has he been in something that actually like did well at the box office and was considered good?
Not big at the box office, but certainly Sexy Beast.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Sexy Beast. That was
okay.
So
Sexy Beast. The
good.
only that's the exception that proves the rule. And Ryan Reynolds once again miscast.
Yeah, I'll see miscast.
I don't know who you'd put in the role, because I'm not sold on the premise itself. Anyway, it's like we're going to put your.
I would have cast Paul Giamatti. I think Paul Giamatti would have been better.
Really? Or are you just joking? Oh, you pulled my leg here.
I think he could have played it. Although, now that I think about it, you kind of want somebody with Ryan Reynolds'
somebody
body.
has to be younger and a little bit
younger
built.
with that kind of like sexy body. Okay, then Triple H. Triple H could have totally played that, and kind of would have been able to play the empty husk. I think he could do it. I think he could do it.
I thought you said he was a good actor. Not
He is. That's why he could play it. It would be perfect.
If you want somebody who plays an empty husk, you get Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So, overall thoughts, I'm not going to see it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing Ryan Reynolds miscast in movies.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's an interesting premise. So I kind of want to watch it just for that, because it's got an interesting premise. And so I want to see what they do with it. And big Ryan Reynolds fan, always a big Ben Kingsley fan. But I'm interested to see what happens. I just don't expect big things. I mean, how's Gandhi going to steal Deadpool's body?
Yeah,
I
basically.
mean, really.
Like Gandhi steals Deadpool's body at the end. Anyway,
yeah. So, well, but anyway, sounds
wrapping
interesting.
Up that
anyhow.
weekend, yeah. No, it sounds interesting and just...
Yeah, not going to make
sold.
any money. Nobody's going to see it.
Wrapping up that weekend is a couple of movies that are on the smaller side. We're going to go with, first, a documentary, which I normally don't want to talk about documentaries because they're mostly stupid, but this looks like it might be awesome. And I use that as a direct segue because everything is awesome, because the Beyond the Brick Lego documentary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually interested in... I would sit down and watch a documentary about Legos.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that this one particularly looks interesting because they actually are talking to the people at the conventions that build the mega structure things, which actually is really interesting to me. And so, yeah, I think this one actually looks really interesting, and actually looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Like, probably not going to... Yeah, I mean, it's a documentary.
Let's not even talk about box office numbers when it comes to this one, because it's not a big movie.
Yeah, it really actually looks very interesting. And, yeah, I think that everybody... Like, from what I've seen, yeah, check it out. I'm
going to check this when it comes out. So. Yeah. Another movie that comes out that I'm not checking out, that I'm not going to recommend, that I think is going to bomb, is The Gift. Okay, high school friends, basically like this husband and wife have run into an old friend or not friend, maybe somebody that the guy used to bully in high school, and it turns out the husband and wife live this kind of semi-opulent lifestyle, and it just... the friend that they run into or whatever his relation to them is a creepy weirdo stalker who at first is just trying to be overly generous and pleasant to them, and then it takes a turn for the creepy stocky weirdo, and I'm left going, huh?
Yeah.
It falls under that. Why did they make this movie category? Because it just is...
Well, it's one of those suspense / horror, and, it kind of... I think the 1 hour photo kind of nailed it. Robin Williams in there, creepy as hell.
I was gonna say,
and
Robin
just
Williams
really nailed the creepy stalker guy.
The creepy, I want to be a part of your life guy.
Yeah, I want to be part of your life, and now I think I am part of your life.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I think that if I tried to watch it, I would just be going, why am I not watching 1 hour photo? Because it's so much better.
That is a very good way of putting it. Is that there's other films that do this kind of thing better, and you can tell via the trailer that it's just not going to do well.
Yeah,
what it's trying to do.
Not as well as other ones that we've seen. I mean, it might be perfectly fine. It might be a decent movie. It's just not going to be near as good as some other movies we've seen that have done this very well.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that wraps up the last weekend in July, and I personally think that the weekend is gonna go to Pixels second week.
Second week for Pixels?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wait, let me look through.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Mission Impossible comes out that weekend. Screw that. It's gonna be Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, Mission Impossible.
My bad.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. My
Mission
bad.
Impossible. Yep, Mission Impossible.
That's the correct answer.
Mission Impossible's carrying over for the next 24 weeks.
Well, I forgot that it was going to go up against that. Pixels, though, I think is going to take second. It's not going to have a big drop off, but
No.
Mission Impossible is going to win.
Pixels is going to just... It's going to start off low and just keep going down, and that's going to be the end of Pixels. Bye-bye.
All right, well, that's that for July, and yeah, that used to be the heart of summer, like when things were just going, and then you'd roll into August and things would be chugging along, and that's not the way it is anymore. It feels like the end of July is almost like the new August, you know?
Yeah,
So.
pretty much.